Foo Fighters' Medicine at Midnight was my most anticipated album of the entire year, and it did not disappoint. I already reviewed the album back on Friday, and it's linked down below if you'd like to check that out. Today though, I'm going to rank all the songs from the album from my least favorite to my favorite, although there wasn't a bad song on this one. It truly was a great album, but let's get straight into it. Coming in at number 9 is Cloud Spotter, and although it's my least favorite from this album, the lyrics are still catchy as hell, and the guitar really stands out here. Bang, 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 you know what I mean. I also really love the backing vocals here. It reminds me of another song I'll talk about in a little bit, but even though this is the weakest, it's still a pretty great song. Coming in at number 8 is Shame Shame, and I know this is probably the biggest song off this album, and that's probably because it was the first single release. A lot of people love it, and for me, maybe it's just because it was very different from what I expected, but I noticed that the more I listen to it, the more it grows on me. But I also do think it is a pretty good song. It just has a different feel, and that's why it's lower, but still, the chorus here is really special. Coming in at number 7 is Making a Fire, and the opening to this album is just fantastic. I love the song, and I can say I love every single song from this point on. The other two, really enjoy, just don't love them, let's say. This one feels like it mixes the sound of an old ABBA song with, of course, the classic Foo Fighters sound, and the band, especially drummer Taylor Hawkins, has talked about how much he loves ABBA, but here it's really apparent with the backing vocals and the claps. Coming in at number 6 is Holding Poison, and really, just these songs are so good. I think this one probably has switched around the most when I've ranked these songs, because I've listened to the album, I think 4 or 5 times all the way through at least, but after the 5th time I listened to this all the way through, I think it cemented itself in the 6th spot. I barely said that sentence properly. Holding Poison has a chorus that really sticks in your head. I love the guitar, the little picks here, and of course the solo is just awesome. Coming in at number 5 is Love Dies Young, and Love Dies Young is just one of the most enjoyable songs I've heard recently, and easily one of the most fun and upbeat from this album. As I said before, there's a lot of songs on this album that really mix that classic Foo Fighters sound with this whole upbeat and dance sound, and here that's really apparent. I can definitely see thousands of people rocking out to this song in a stadium that is completely full. Coming in at number 4 is Chasing Birds, and I will always refer to this song as Medicine at Midnight's Walking After You. And for those who don't know what Walking After You is, Walking After You comes from their second album and their best. The Color and the Shape, it was obviously released in 1997, and in my opinion, it's their best slow song. This one definitely is up there though. Chasing Birds is a beautiful slow burn that just fills your headphones with such a great vibe. I love this song so much. It just gets better and better and better every single time I listen to it. Now we're on the podium. Coming in at number 3 is No Son of Mine, and No Son of Mine will definitely be a stadium rocker. I can see this one getting turned up to 11 on their next tour, and that is all for the best. I think out of all the songs on this album, this one really feels the most classic Foo Fighters-ish. What I mean by that, obviously, is that it feels like something that would have been released back on their first album, like the self-titled one, which is basically just Dave Grohl, but still, one of like the first 3, Color and the Shape and There's Nothing Left to Lose. It feels like something that would be off of that, just hard rocking, what they're really known for, and I mean, they're one of my 5 favorite bands, so how could I not love that? Coming in at number 2 is Medicine at Midnight. The album titled song, Medicine at Midnight, has to be one of the most groovy songs of their entire career. It's so much fun, and we do get our fair share of Grohl screams here, but they're subtle and held back, and that's what helps it keep its groove throughout. This one feels like if you took the dance music from the 70s and threw in hints of rock music from the 90s, and that makes for one of the best songs off their last few albums. Coming in at number 1 though is Waiting on a War. By far my favorite song on the album. Waiting on a War is a slow burn song that really kind of starts off slow. It's just Dave Grohl playing on an acoustic guitar, and then by the end it builds in this amazing crescendo and really hits hard in the end. Dave Grohl was inspired to write the song after his daughter Harper asked him if there was going to be a war, and because he grew up feeling the same way and thinking the same things, it's obvious that this is a very personal song from him, obviously because it's mainly just him for the majority of it, but because it really builds there, it makes that ending so much more powerful, emotional, and I think their best song since maybe these days from Wasting Lights in 2011 10 whole years ago. That's how great this song is. This album is fantastic, and that is my ranking. What is yours? Tell me down below. I'm really interested. I've seen different ones. They're not too common. I've seen a few on Reddit. They're kind of hard to find, so if you're watching this, I'm guessing you're a big Foo Fighters fan. You can check out my other Foo Fighters videos, obviously the review of this album, as well as my favorite songs by them that I did with Chris from Film Stock. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Over and out.